gotta ask you, this year is the 45th anniversary of Mahogany. And I saw that you were from Chicago. I gotta ask. Oh, wow.
Friends bought this for me as a gift because I am literally obsessed with Mahogany.
Yeah.
The movie, the fashion, Tracy, what is her name in Mahogany?
Tracy Chambers.
Clothing line. I mean, I always say that Mahogany made me gay. A little 10-year-old kid that watched Mahogany and was like transfixed. I was a 10-year-old kid that saw it like 100 times. Anytime it was on television, I watched it. And my brother and my cousin, who were like, you know, if I'm 10, one's 9, one's 8, or stair steps, they would be running around and I would be like, shut up! Mahogany is on! This is the scene where she jumps into the fountain. This is not that. You know, like, Mahogany changed my life.
Wow. And why do you think it was so, I mean, I know the answer, but why do you think it was so impactful? Because whenever I talk to any African-American in fashion, they always reference this movie and that character.
Well, I actually think I speak about Mahogany in the book because my introduction is about why I wrote the book and tells my story. And then in the back at the end credits, I have another little section where I do thank yous. And one of the reasons why I wrote Supreme Models is it's all about being a little Black kid and seeing beautiful images of yourself. That's how little kids of any race decide that they want to be something. You know, you see a cartoon and there's an astronaut, or there's a cop, or there's a cowboy, or there's Indians, or there's doctors, or there's nurses, and you begin to play and you begin to go, oh, let's play doctor and I want to be the doctor, or let's play fire engine and I want to be a firefighter. And so all kids, all people need to see themselves beautifully represented. And I was the little Black gay kid that was bullied. You know, I was bullied because I was smart. I was bullied because everybody at that time thought I was gay before I even knew what I was, you know? And so for me, my life was books, and my life was magazines, and my life was movies and television. And the way that I watched those mediums was I was looking for the Black person. You know, in every show, I was looking for the Black person. So if I was watching Starsky and Hutch, I was looking for the Black person. Unfortunately, on a show like Starsky and Hutch, the Black person was a criminal, or it was a hooker, or Beretta. And, you know, the Huggy character was a pimp. And that wasn't my reality. So now I'm watching shows like Charlie's Angels looking for the Black person. I'm watching The Love Boat. You know, for years, I always make the joke that I thought that that the purser on the Love Boat, the bartender Isaac, was my dad. You know, because he was I didn't know my dad. I'd never met my dad. And the only Black person that I would see week after week on television was Isaac on The Love Boat.
Wow.
There was a whole section of my childhood where I wanted to work on a boat. I remember getting my grandmother's encyclopedias out. And if I didn't know a word, I looked it up in the dictionary. And if I didn't know a place or a thing, I looked it up in the encyclopedia. Yeah. And I remember looking up yacht. You know, and yacht is a big boat and blah, 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 and all the specifics to what a yacht is, because I wanted to work on a boat. Yeah. I wanted to work on a cruise ship. You know, like that's where it all begins. And so when I saw Mahogany, it was like, I want to be a model. I want to be a fashion stylist. I want to jump in a fountain in Rome. You know, I want to go to Italy. And I remember this, being a kid and getting my grandmother's encyclopedia out. Thank God it wasn't a missing letter. And looking up Italy. No, I looked up Rome. Rome is in Italy. People that are in Italy are Italians. They speak Italian. blah, 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 and being transfixed by the idea that one day I wanted to go to Italy. You know, I remember there's a Ebony magazine, and Iman was on the cover, and she was on the cover with her first husband, Spencer Haywood. And Spencer,
I saw that, but I did not remember. That was one I did not remember. Because I remember reading that, but I couldn't remember that cover.
And they were all topless, although you could only see this. And Iman looked beautiful, exotic, and Spencer looked handsome, and he was smiling, and the little girl was smiling. And I remember being transfixed that that was a Black nuclear family. You know what I mean? That it was a mother, a father, and a child, and they all looked happy. And I remember an Ebony magazine issue with Sammy Davis Jr. on the cover. And he had on those big 70s glasses, and he had on a blazer. He had like a brown plaid blazer. He had on dark brown chocolate pants, and he was standing in front of some big ass Lincoln in front of some, you know, mansion in California.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I want a mansion. I want to live in California. I want to wear a blazer. You know, and still to this day, I'm obsessed with blazers. And every time I put on a blazer, I think about Sammy Davis Jr. standing in front of his car, in front of his house, on the cover of that magazine, looking like a Mac. It gave me a place to dream. You know, it gave me, and that's why inclusion, that's why books like this are so important to Black people. And that's why magazines like Ebony are so important. And that's why a movie like Mahogany is so important, because it shows us as more than the stereotype of us.
Absolutely. I was going to say, and we've kind of come to the end of the interview, but even for myself, as I'm listening to you, I was that same kid. My mom, you know, had Ebony Essence, Ebony Mail, when that was a magazine, Jet magazine. And for me, living in Orlando, Florida, where I didn't see these images in person, to look through those magazines and to see those magazines, I always said, I want to be that person. I want to live like that. I want to dress like that. I want to live in those cities. I'm wearing this turtleneck now because whenever I would look in the theater or the books about fashion, the designers were always in Black turtlenecks. So I'm always, you know, whenever I can, rock a turtleneck. So you're absolutely right. Image is everything. They can totally transform your mind, your thinking, your perception about who you are. And so absolutely, I totally agree with that. Marcellas, thank you so much.